Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Yorkshire Crafter, and today's WIP and Chat is sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I was watching the replay of Mrs. Coffee's live, and she challenged us to make a 1 hour WIP and Chat. So hopefully I will be able to make this about an hour long, and she said to make it like a get to know me. So here we go. So the diamond painting we are working on today is from Victoria's Moon. I'm slowly getting there with it, but we've got all that top strip done, and we're working down on the second row now. So to the challenge. I grew up in a little village called Birkby. The first house I remember was at the back of a park. I think it was a 2-bedroomed, but in that house the kitchen was down in the cellar, and so was the bathroom. So they were both down in the cellar underneath the house. Sorry. The second house was also in Birkby, but that was a 3-bedroomed house. The kitchen and the living room were on the first floor, and there was 3 bedrooms and the bathroom up on the second floor. So from that house I moved in with my then boyfriend, my now husband. We've lived in a few different locations. We've lived in Lockwood. There were a couple of different houses in Lockwood that we lived in. Sorry, my throat's gone really tickly since I've pressed the camera, since I've pressed record. I don't know why, my throat was fine up until then, but you always press record and then you start getting a bit of a tickle. So let me just stop a minute and have a drink. Sort out my throat. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, couple of houses in Lockwood. Then we moved to Dewsbury. We lived in Overthorpe. That's where our eldest started school, primary school. Then from there we moved to Meltham, and that's where our youngest started primary school. He started in reception, and our eldest was in year 3 at that time. So yeah, we both went through primary school, junior school. It was a primary and junior school. Our eldest went through high school. Our youngest is still in high school now. So like I say, we lived in Dewsbury before, then we moved to Meltham, and now we're back in Dewsbury again. But we're in a different part of Dewsbury now. We are just up the road from Dewsbury town centre in a little village called Chickenley. So I am in the process of looking for a job, a little part-time job like I used to do in Meltham. So as many of you know, I was a lunchtime supervisor, so I'm hoping to do that job again over here. I have applied for a couple of jobs. I applied for one myself, and then yesterday I went to go and see a work coach, and she was telling me about another couple of jobs that she'd seen on the Wakefield job site. So she sent off my CV to those jobs. I've got to go back and see her on Friday because she wants to help me redo my CV. She says the one you've done is fine, but we need to plump it out a little bit. She says we need to put some more details down, you know, hobbies and interests and things that you like to do. So got to go back and see her on Friday. She's going to help me do that with my CV. So yeah, but when I was in high school, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with preschoolers. I wanted to be a nursery nurse. So for my GCSEs and things when I was in high school, I picked childcare, home economics. So yeah, passed with flying colours. So I went on to college. I attended a college in Dewsbury. It was like an apprenticeship. You worked 4 days in a workplace and then you did 1 day at college. Then in the meantime doing coursework and things like that, and my tutor had come out to see me in my workplace, and yeah, I started with a level 2 in childcare. Worked through that for 2 years, and then I decided I wanted to carry on, so did my level 3, but because I'd already done level 2 previously, the level 3 was only for a year, because I'd basically done some of the work already. I just needed to go into a bit more depth, because with a level 3 nursery nurse, you can be what you call a child's caseworker. So you monitor their abilities, their motor functions, the motor skills. You do like a work folder for the child. Put photos and things in and write captions and, you know, their abilities and where they are. When the child is ready to go to school, the parents can request that, or they can give permission for it to be passed on to the school. So the school, the reception, nursery, know where the child is at. Handwriting and maybe reading and things like that. But yeah, so I always knew I wanted to be a nursery nurse. So right up until having my own children, I did that. Had our eldest in 2003. I had my maternity leave and then went back to work while my husband looked after him. And then in 2004 we wanted to get married. We decided to get married, and that was when we moved to Dewsbury for the first time. So yeah, 2003 we had our eldest. 2004 we got married, we moved house. Yeah. When we moved to Dewsbury the first time, I worked in a before and after school club. I absolutely love that job. So yeah, breakfast club for parents to drop off. Whoops. If they had to go into work early, or, you know, shift times and stuff like that. So that's what that was. Then, like I say, we decided to move to Meltham, and that's when I became a lunchtime supervisor. I started off as relief staff for 2 years, and then a position came open for full-time. So I spoke to the head teacher about it, and they just said, well, we'll organise an interview. He said, you need to apply like everybody else, and I said, yeah, that's fine, I understand, you know, I can't just walk into it just because I'm already here. But yeah, they ended up offering me the job. I think there was me and a couple of other people, but they didn't have any experience, and he said, you know, it did help that you were already here, and but you were relief staff and you had to go through the same process as everybody else, make it fair. So that's what we did. But yeah, I got offered the job, so I stayed another 6 years at that school, and then yeah, we've moved back to Dewsbury. My mum and dad live quite close to us. My mum has a little part-time job in a little cafe in the town centre, so they bob up here quite often. Come and have a coffee when she's finished work, or we saw them over the weekend. In fact, they bobbed in on Sunday. She does a couple of hours on a Sunday, so they popped in to see us. No, can't use those because that one's too small. That one's got a knobbly bit on it, a tab on it. So let's see how many, and I only need a couple more. I just need 2 more. Just get 2 more out the bag. Fill in those ends that we're working on. Whoops, drop that. Phantom drilling. A lot of people talking about phantom drilling and thinking they've picked one up and they haven't. Right, I need to find this N. I did see another one. Filled that one in. Right, where's this other N gone? There it is. Right, so put that one back. Sorry guys if you get my arm in shot. Next we'll do this. The O's is 25. That one there, 25. So check we're still recording. Excuse me guys. Yep, on 17 minutes. What else can I tell you about? So talked about where I lived and grew up. Talked about my work history. Oh, I missed a couple of ends there. Never mind. But yeah, my hobbies and other things that I like to do. So I don't think many of you will know, but I'm a quite outdoorsy person. Some of you knew that I used to be in Cub Scouts. I trained as a leader. I started, I think it was 2015. My husband used to help at the local group, and then yeah, I got roped in. Leaders off poorly, or if you're struggling for another adult, and I got roped in. First it was to assist him with the Cub Scouts, because his numbers just grew and grew and grew. So yeah, I'd go and help. and yeah, he actually said to me eventually, I would love to pass this group on to you. So we got in touch with one of the training advisors, and at the time my husband was a training advisor, but obviously being my husband, he wasn't allowed to do it. So yeah, one of the other leaders came in, trained me up, set me up on courses. You have to do first aid training, you have to do safeguarding and things like that. So there were a couple of days, a few hours each day. I think it was about 3 days, no, 2 days for the first aid. And then the safeguarding, I think it was one afternoon, and then all the other training you have to do to be a leader, so program planning and yeah, so what to do on a meeting night, and camps and day trips and just simple sleepovers and things like that. So what she did was she signed me up for a leaders weekend training. So we got there on the Friday, so late Friday, had some supper, woke up the Saturday, we were all doing different activities, chatting about this scenario and that scenario and what would you do in this situation, and talking about dietary requirements and also talking about games or activities, how you would adapt it if you have a child with a disability. Yes, it was a full-on weekend. I really enjoyed it. I mean, like I say, just a simple conversation, you can tick off 2 or 3 different elements of your training, not even realise. But yeah, we just talked a little bit about camps and stuff like that, but there was a separate training for that. It's a nights away permit camp. So me and another leader, a good friend, we actually went on that course together, and it was such a laugh. Again, talking about dietary requirements, you know, if you had a child that turned up and they had a dairy intolerance or wheat intolerance, how you would have to adapt the menu, different scenarios, you know, what if it got too wet, or for example, if for some reason you had to end the camp early. You know, what would you do in that scenario? And then once we'd done that training weekend, the nights away permit, you had to organise your own camp. And again, the person who was training you up, your assessor, they would come along to that camp. They would come, depending when you started the camp, they would come for what you call the camp opening. But yeah, so all in all, to get my leader certificate and my wood beads, it took me about a year. My assessor did actually say, you have done it quite quick, because generally it takes about a year and a half, 2 years, especially if you don't go to the weekend programs. If you just decide to do it all based in your group, yeah, if you don't go to the weekend training things, it can take a lot longer, and some people just can't, you know, family commitments, and it can take a good couple of years. But yeah, I took a year to do mine, so I got my certificate saying that I'm a fully trained leader, and I got my wood beads. So it comes on like a leather cord, and yeah, you can wear them if you choose to. I used to wear mine when we had the cub meetings at the hut, but if we went out anywhere or we were on camp, I would leave them at home, so I didn't want them to get lost or damaged. You know, things can things mysteriously disappear when you're on camps, or end up in somebody else's room for some reason. Even the leaders, you can be looking for something and then it'll turn up somewhere else. I think I was looking for a bobble once and it turned up in the kitchen. How was that got in the kitchen? It was wrapped around my brush, ready for the morning, and yeah, it's in the kitchen now, but never mind. Yeah, I could tell you some stories of camps, and you will be amazed at what some kids leave behind. I've had a couple of sleeping bags left behind, I've had coats left behind. When we've had indoor camps, when we've had the dorm rooms, socks and things fallen behind mattresses, and so yeah, when you're cleaning up from camp, check under all the mattresses. You'd be amazed at how many socks that you find. You know, kids go to bed in their socks and end up losing them. But yeah, the amount of lost property and things we've come home with from camps, it's a couple of days recovery, and then you'll send out emails or, you know, put it on. Most groups have like Facebook pages and Facebook group pages and whatever. You put photos and things on, and does anybody recognise this, and who's lost that, and the amount of parents will say, yeah, so and so's left his whatever. And I think I ended up coming home with some waterproofs once, bright pink waterproofs. But yeah, I remember putting it on the Facebook page, and Dad was like, yep, they're hers. It's like, oh, she managed to leave them behind, the bright pink. Could you forget them? It's like, yeah, I know, but hey, never mind. But yeah, it was the same when, oh sorry guys, it was the same when we went on our weekend camp permit training. Went on the campsite Facebook page, and the amount of lost property, even adults left behind, it just baffling. A couple of roll mats, there were a sleeping bag. Yeah, even adults leaving sleeping bags behind, it's baffling to me. But 30 is U, so we'll do the U's next. But yeah, so that was my time at Cubs and Scouts. Other hobbies and interests, obviously diamond painting. I've now got back into latch hook. I'm doing the toucan canvas at the moment. I haven't actually done any more on that since the last video, so I'm gonna have to get that back out and do some more on it soon. I also do the quilling. Again, that was thanks to my grandma. Excuse me guys, but yeah, my mum told me that it was my grandma that introduced me to the quilling and the latch hook. I used to do both those crafts when I was younger. Also there's the sequin art. I haven't opened either of those kits yet. Sorry, that's a helicopter if you can hear that. I don't know whether you did, but yeah. Rose up from the fields behind our house. Yeah, making a right racket. But yeah, the sequin art. So I got the desserts sequin art from my husband for Christmas. We got the 3D pug. I was actually looking at that the other day, and you've got to paint a bit of it. There's his snout, so you've got to paint some of his nose and round a bit of his cheeks before you can even start putting sequins on. As it said on the side of the box, comes with a pot of paint, all the sequins, the brushes. I'm like, you don't paint sequin art. But yeah, sure enough, I was reading the instructions, and you've got to paint some of his nose and some of his cheeks, and so yeah. But I've got enough going on at the moment. I've got this diamond painting, I've got the latch hook. I think that's enough to be going on with for the time being. So, I also need to get in touch with Alvina and Victoria's Moon. One, to send her this video to let her know my progress, and also she was saying about the factory being revamped. Sometime in February they'll start sending orders out again. I need to let her know my change of address for sending out the second paint by numbers. I got the black cab, the black taxi. I thought it would go nice in the kitchen, you know, with the New York and London. Obviously I've got the two diamond paintings, the red bus and the telephone box. So as soon as I saw the London black cab, I thought, yeah, that would go nice. But my husband actually found a couple of more rolls of the kitchen wallpaper, so we don't know whether it was the council that put this wallpaper up or whether it was the previous tenants, but in the green recycle bin my husband found 2 big rolls of it. So he's on about decorating our bedroom with that wallpaper. So I've got a funny feeling we might be ordering second copies of those diamond paintings, the London bus and the telephone box, possibly to go in the bedroom as well. I'm not sure, see what he says. He might end up watching this video as well, so wait and see when he gets to this bit of the video and see what he'll probably say, yeah, go for it. So, yeah, since we've moved he's become less stressed, less worried about money. He's not watching every penny. When I pick up something in a shop or in the supermarket, like, yeah, throw it in, Wool. So yeah, he's become less watching every penny, if you know what I mean. But yeah. So yeah, that's my hobbies and interests, and I don't know whether you guys will remember or not, but we are getting 2 rabbits off a friend of ours. She's struggling to take care of them. She's got hip and knee problems, so she's finding it difficult to clean their hutch out. So my husband said we would love to adopt them from you, and you know, you can come over and see them anytime, and not that she needs an excuse to come over because she knows she's always welcome, but it is a little bit of a drive from Meltham to Dewsbury. It's a good, I'd say a good 40 minutes. driving the car. But yeah, so we have 2 cats at the moment, 2 guinea pigs, and we will be getting 2 rabbits. So we're hoping when it starts warming up, might be able to put the guinea pigs outside as well, because the same friend, she has an extra outside hutch that she said we could have for the guinea pigs, so when we pick up the rabbits, or if she brings them over, whichever way, we'll have the rabbits in their cage, they will have their outside hutch, and like I say, she has the extra outside hutch as well that we can use for the guinea pigs. So yeah, it'll be all move round. Let's have a quick check on time. 41 minutes. So our youngest is, I would say, now settled into his new high school. He managed to sort out his lunch yesterday, because what they do, they have a fingerprint system for lunch times, so then kids aren't carrying cash around. Yeah, it's like a top-up system. Parents put so much money on per week, and then the school I'll say, right, you've got so and so each day on the system, or whatever the lunch is every day. Yeah, you just top it up, and like I say, they go in and put the thumbprint on, and it'll take the money out of the allowance, the money on the system, how much ever parents put on. So yeah, less risk of, you know, like they're doing this in The Simpsons, give me your lunch money. Right, no. Eliminates that. Yeah, that chance, that opportunity. Let's change colour again, sorry about that arm. So the next is that funny J, so it's in this. Sorry guys, they're already in this pot. I'm just gonna have to jiggle this up a bit, so I'm sorry for the volume. They're a bit all stuck together. Knock that one back down. Yeah, they're a bit I made a bit of a boo-boo when I first started this canvas, because I looked at the number 2 and I thought it was going to be, you know, whatever the number was on the thing, rather than looking at the symbol, and I picked up the wrong one. I ended up putting this blue colour when it should have been like this yellowy orangey colour. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Hold the camera a little. So it should be these colours up here, but yeah, I ended up putting this blue on instead. So I've had to put these, I mean, I tried washing them, you know, washing up liquid, take the sticky off, but it hasn't helped one bit. Most of the diamonds are still sticking together. keep giving the pot a good shake every now and again, but yeah, they just seem to want to stay stuck together. See, even now I can't get one out of the pot. They just want to stay where they are. I'm like, no, I need you to go on the canvas. But it was my boo-boo. I mean, I'm sure if I was to get in touch with Alvina, they would send me some more, but like I said, they're in the middle of the factory revamp. So, but yeah, I'm managing. I can deal with it. But, I keep going off topic. Yeah, so I was on about my son, on about our youngest settled into high school, and yeah, he's sorted out his lunch. It's what he used to do at his old high school. He would go and get his lunch at break time. So he used to go get himself a baguette, a drink. Yeah, that's what his allowance would allow him to buy. So yes, he used to go on a break time, because he said on an actual lunchtime it takes forever to get through the queue to get your lunch. So yeah, rather than just queue up for a hot dinner, he'd just go get a sandwich, and then he'd still go up to the dinner hall, but he'd already had he would have his sandwich in his bag, so then he wouldn't have to queue up again to go get a hot lunch. So he'd sit with his friends who had packed lunches still in the dinner hall in the warmth, but then not have to queue up. And he was saying yesterday they get 20 minutes queuing up time, then another 10-15 minutes to actually sit and eat it. But yeah, then they'd have to get back to class. And in fact, he said they don't have an afternoon registration. So we'd been asking him last week, you know, do you know where your farm room is? He's like, no. I said, well, what happened after lunch? You know, don't you go back to your farm room and register for the afternoon? I said, no, we don't do that. Well, okay, I didn't know. But yeah, if you can hear that in the background, that is my husband upstairs. He is recording his own video. But yeah, I know we're well into this video, and I know we're nearly at the end, but I just wanted to thank you guys for being so patient while I'm working out these glitches on my channel. First, I had camera problems. My husband sorted that out for me. He got me a USB camera to go into the laptop, and Now the volume problem, he's helped me sort that out as well, because even he said, you know, you talk quietly, you're not loud. He said, I think you need a microphone. So the other day he ordered me a microphone from Amazon, and that came. I'm actually using it today, so if you guys don't mind putting down in the comment section whether my videos are better than they were at the beginning. So whether the picture's any better with the new camera, volume wise, what you think of the new microphone. So yeah, any help, any feedback would be greatly appreciated. But like I say, this is all courtesy of my husband helping me sort out these problems. So a big thank you and a big shout out to my husband. Thank you, dear. But yes, genuinely thank you, because it has been worrying me for a while. Quite a few people have said about volume and other things, and sometimes it was down to the laptop, sometimes if the video came out crackly, or if sometimes this microphone on the camera itself wouldn't work. Yeah, he's helped me solve each and every problem on the way. So my dear husband Mark, thank you very, very much. I wanted to personally thank you on camera, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you dearly, I really do. But yeah, I'm gonna stop being soppy and mushy now. But yeah, let's check the time again. Oh, I can't actually see, the sunshine's on the screen. I can't see. What are we on? I'm gonna have to move my chair, sorry guys. 53. Yeah, 53. So I shall quickly tell you, our eldest is getting on brilliantly at college. Every day he comes home like, yeah, it's been a good day. We have actually been invited to the college to go meet his tutors, his lecturers. They're having an evening where you can go and meet them, go and have a coffee. You know, they said it's not a parents' evening, but it can be. So you can ask about your child's progress and things, but it's mainly a social thing, just to go and meet them and have a chat, and yeah, just for parents for us parents to meet the tutors. But yeah, you can also ask how they're getting on and things like that. So I think yeah, just got time to end this end this video now. So I just wanted to give a big thank you to Mrs. Coffee for creating this challenge for us all. Like I say, she's going to put a playlist up of everybody's videos so we can get to meet each other, see each other's videos, and things like that. So yes, a big thank you to Mrs. Coffee. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. And sorry, I'm getting all confused. Right, please give this video a like. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. And remember guys, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank you. Bye guys. Bye.